Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 8. 8 Veritas. I can't believe we're here already, my friends. I'm going to save all my thoughts for the end so we can get right into the episode. The one thing that I will mention, though, is this. I personally am looking at Lower Decks and the writers specifically to see if they do any callbacks here at the end of the season to earlier in the season. By that, do they break the episodic and go towards the serialized form of storytelling to end the season, or start season 2? The only reason why I say that is normally Star Trek does not. They'll have episodic, seasons, and then maybe a cliffhanger of a split episode to end one season and begin a next. Normally. However, recently with Discovery and Strange New Worlds, ones that I've seen, they do bring in those elements. And we've seen, where they refer back to or have a season-long storyline, things like that. And with Lower Decks, we've seen hints, normally character-driven hints, emotional beats and things like that have hinted at things that we've already seen in prior episodes that the characters are at least kind of emotionally referring to. Let's see if that continues or if it's just a device that the writers are using to kind of further things out without specifically naming prior events. Let's see. I'm very, very curious to see. My friends, if you could, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications for whenever we go live here on YouTube with any Star Trek or sci-fi related material. And if you would like a longer format, please join us over on Patreon. We have full-length watch-alongs and reactions over there. We're a couple episodes ahead, and you always get things early over on Patreon. Growing community, growing library, great stuff. But my friends, that's then. This is now. And right now, we're ready for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 8, Veritas. Let's engage maximum warp reaction, and away we go. Ketuvon Prime? Ketuvon? Is that Klingon? Yeah, it seems Klingon-y.
Oh, no. This is bad. This is very bad. I'm not supposed to be here. I have a pottery class at 0900.
Okay, so is this a cold open that means something or not, I wonder?
Metal bars. This has alien prison written all over it. A prison? Nah, no way, man.
How'd you get here?
Oh, I've been replicating a lot of ice. Are we not supposed to do that? I really like ice.
I saw the captain and the bridge crew get taken into another room.
So the entire crew's here. If the bridge crew, they saw the bridge crew get taken into another cell. Okay, so that can't be a cold open that has nothing to do with the episode, right? We've started to see those. Earlier in the season, the cold opens had nothing to do with the episode. But now, or no consequences from the episode. But now we're starting to see if this is indeed another one where we have a cold open that bleeds into or introduces the story for the episode. That's new. Not new, newer. Okay, so Veritas. Veritas means the truth in Latin, I believe, or true, or some derivation of truth. So if we're dealing with the truth, and you're in a prison, presumably, and it's Klingon. Well, no, because Mariner said that this is worse than the Klingon, so it's an alien prison. I don't know. So the Veritas could be a ship's name, but if it's the truth, if we're going by Veritas meaning the truth in Latin, I'm going with, we're going to have a trial. This is the trial episode? Oh, it looks like a trial!
Oh, man, they have all of our commanders suspended in a beam.
Oh, they must be on trial.
For what?
Oh, this looks...
Primes!
Primes.
Been brought before you to speak truth about the senior officers of the Federation starship Cerritos.
So Primes aren't... No, these are different races.
You will speak only into the Horn of Kendar.
Horn of Kendar.
You must only speak the truth.
Does it only hear the truth, or does it tell you if you're lying?
Mariner. Ship logs state you were present on the bridge when the Cerritos made contact with the Klingon ship Twerk.
Did they say that? Did it say the ship was Twerk? twerk.
Events!
Okay, it started off as a usual day. We were just hanging out. I mean, we were just doing work.
Yeah, just hanging out.
I said, who's the all-time biggest badass, not who's a dude nobody's heard about.
Everyone knows Rogadena.
Rogadena. I don't know
What
him.
about Khan, right?
Ah,
He was a
Khan, I know.
genetically engineered supervillain. Dude was a space seed. Rogadena. Get the out of my face.
Get the fuck out of my face.
You messed with the red alert speakers?
I always love when they pop their flaps. I'm popping my flap for this episode. There.
Why do we have to have bridge?
I'm leaving my flap popped.
Want Rutherford fired? No, just follow my lead, all right? We'll fake it.
Fake what?
It!
I'm not faking on the bridge.
I feel out of uniform now.
Oh, these guys are maniacs.
Captain, what happened?
They just randomly attacked me for thanking them.
Freeman looks like she's holding a Survivor flag, like from the show Survivor.
I simply showed gratitude for your map of the neutral zone.
What are they doing at helm and navigation? Beckett and Boimler bridge crew?
What specifically do you wish to know?
Ah, come on, man! This is your chance to prove you got what it takes!
Check out the customs of the species, see if you've misconstrued something. Check the universal translator to make sure it's doing things right.
I'm not asking you to kiss my ass. No wrong answers.
Okay, we could do evasive maneuver 88.
Why would you do evasive maneuvers?
Is he serious?
That was the wrong answer.
I'm in 84.
In this situation? Are you crazy?
I love how Mariner knows everything.
Let's use the impulse drive to Crazy Ivan.
Crazy Ivan's from Firefly. I'm not sure if that's what they meant.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Son, you're embarrassing yourself.
Friends, a message.
Good call.
You want him to shoot at her? That doesn't seem...
What?
What the hell are you doing?
You said send them a message. That means phasers.
Yeah.
A message to invite them to dinner.
What? I would have done the same thing. I would have shot too.
You expect me to believe a Starfleet officer wouldn't know what's going on with their ship at all times?
I would have totally fucking shot.
What about the map? Tell me about the...
Is that the Survivor flag?
Place her in the tank of contempt.
The tank of contempt.
Perhaps this is a misunderstanding. You may go uneeled.
Uneeled.
Better luck next time, eels.
I love Mariner.
Much about a map of the neutral zone.
That guy's covering the horn.
What would you even do with a map like that? I have no idea.
Oh, Tendi, what do you know? Tendy's a terrible liar. Tendy's gonna go last, and Tendy's gonna know everything that's going on.
Are you sure you want that one? Just because I have so many great stardates in here.
Oh no, what happened, Rutherford?
Does your implant have Romulan flight manuals and repair information?
Not right now. I'd need to update it.
Then do it now.
Well, usually I like to update it while I'm asleep because it kind of messes with my...
No! Do it!
Oh, we saw before when his implant goes off, he gets real Vulcan-y.
I'll fill you in on the plan. Oh, first off, do you have all your shots?
Wait, which shots?
Dude, hurry up with the plan. Something tells me something's gonna happen when this thing loads up.
Bacteria on your penis.
Hold up, just a second. My implant is also...
It'll lead right through your underpants.
My what?
Your peen.
Wait.
Oh, it took him out.
I think I blacked out and lost a little bit of time during that update.
Did they give Rutherford a metal Vulcan ear? Oh my god, they did.
We're in the museum. Our window's gonna be really tight.
Museum? Dude, I'm with you.
No.
What is going on? Oh my god. Well, at least he's not dead.
What are you two doing back here? You've drawn my attention.
It's exactly what we didn't want to happen.
Yeah,
Hey, stop that! Now you're distracting me.
Is this supposed to be the fan dance that Uhura did in Undiscovered Country?
What?
This is saving your life, Rutherford.
How am I standing in space?
Oh my god, is he in the holodeck? No, he's not.
Wait, did I steal this? Mark Twain's got a gun! Phillips!
Mark Twain's got a gun.
Sir, you have nitrogen intoxication. You only have 60 seconds of air left.
My eyes usually look like his whenever I wake up. Oh, Jesus. Boy, no wonder you do this when you're sleeping, Rutherford. Where is this? This Gorn?
Get me out of here, implant!
That's not how that works, Rutherford. How did he get out of that?
Beats me. I mean, it could be for anything. Like, who even knows?
Oh, Tendi knows. Tendy's gonna go last, and she's gonna know the whole thing.
Well, perhaps you, Ensign Devon Attendee, can prove more illuminating.
Oh, I guarantee you she can. Now, is the horn gonna be able to tell when she's lying?
Have you and Commander Jack Ransom ever set foot in the Romulan neutral zone?
I can't tell you that.
What?
All right, fine, but it's a classified mission, so I'll have to leave some things out.
Classified mission?
That's where they talk about the Borg.
You can talk about the Borg anywhere.
The Borg. If the Borg ever show up on this series, which I know they're gonna have to at some point, if they ever show up, it's gonna be amazing.
Secure the room, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, stop. You can't omit details like that.
Yeah, but I already did, so.
Are they wearing glasses or are they redacting their identities?
Yes, that's correct.
Then continue.
Tendy, are you willing to risk death by eels? Yes, that's correct.
The neutral what now?
The package is located here. Guards are stationed.
Package.
If we run into trouble, Cleaner will extract us. Let's this.
This is a very bro-centric mission.
They're scanning the area.
The size of those ships, man. They're legit enormous. Those Romulan ships are enormous. They're bigger than a Galaxy class, according to Star Trek Adventures from Odysseus.
Oh God, they're scanning again! No, that was on me. That was wrong.
Well, dude, they're obviously figured out where you all are. Or not. That was just that guy losing his shit. I love the stealth suits.
You know who I hate? Remans.
They're the worst.
Oh, they're the worst. Remans. I know that from Nemesis.
You're playing some real up mind games.
These guys are a hoot. Are these guys, the Andorian and the other guys, are they actual crew members or are they somebody that Ransom brought in?
Cleaner, do your thing!
Well, the Andorian's hurt. What?
Whoa! I thought she was just supposed to keep us out of here.
She was. I do not know what's going on here. This is crazy.
Tendy!
And there's no indication that the Yulin
Rom, Yulin. Missed the beep.
You're fucking crazy.
If Ransom even remembers this, Tendy's in.
You did not do martial arts on multiple armed guards.
You're right. I didn't.
Did she then? Is that true?
To be reasonable, I tried to get to the truth. Today didn't have to end in eels.
It's gotta end in eels.
All be over if you just tell me what your bridge crew did.
We can't tell you.
Why?
They don't know.
We don't know. We never know anything.
They don't tell them anything.
You're Starfleet. Surely you must be briefed on every contingency.
Yeah, I wish. The senior officers don't always have time to keep us up to speed. Hell, sometimes they don't even know.
I was gonna say, they don't know either. They're giving orders.
Officers are always in full control.
No, they're not. They mess up all the time. Like whenever Q shows up.
Q!
Damn you, Q!
Good luck solving my little puzzle, mes amis.
Mes amis.
Prove that humanity is worth saving.
Is it Delancey? It is.
Play something.
Cards? Soccer?
Okay. Oh!
What's humanity all about?
Oh, it's a Q game. Nobody knows.
Or half of Ransom's alien dates that he doesn't do any research for.
Oh, this will be great.
Hey, Jack. FYI, you're hitting on a salt vampire.
Yeah, right. Nice try.
I know salt vampires. The man trap.
Come on, Marianne. Let's get out of here. I'll give you the tour of Casa de Ransom.
Oh, I got an Easter egg, everybody.
I read all their logs. They're stepping in it all the time.
Captain, someone is replacing everyone on the ship with imposters who claim not to know me.
They're all replaced. We haven't seen their faces.
You are.
Here we go.
Tell me that your senior officers are infallible heroes.
Well, they're not. And that's okay. We all joined Starfleet to dive headfirst into the unknown.
Yeah. Or no one has gone before.
You have shown no evidence that they're guilty of a crime. In fact, I find you guilty of trying to take them down with this sham of a trial.
Go, Brad. Nice job, Brad.
Is a trial?
Yes.
It's not?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty trial-y.
Could someone bring up the lights?
This fucking show.
It's a party for this brave crew who rescued me from the Romulans.
What?
Were
I
you
was
in the...
kidnapped?
Can't say no to a party.
Oh, great. Guess I'll have to shave my.
What?
This was supposed to be my special day.
No. This is a trial. You said we were witnesses. You said we had to test.
Yeah, there's a tank of contempt.
Okay, all right, Clark. Time's up. Etcher's down.
But we didn't even get to do any etching.
No. You only paid for 22 minutes.
22 minutes.
Come on, that's enough.
You dipped us in
You
eels.
ruined my
Those were
party.
eels
You
dipped us
ruined
in.
my party.
You did that.
You ruined
did
my
it.
party.
He dipped us in ales.
Today, you four almost got yourselves killed at a thank you dinner.
At any point, you could have said something.
Going forward, we'll make an effort to keep the crew more informed.
That would help.
Cerritos will be synonymous with clarity.
Yeah, right.
What did Clar do to get captured by the Romulans? I missed that part.
Well, it's complicated.
Why did you let him hurt us with eels if you knew it wasn't a
Right.
It's all classified. Dismissed.
Yep.
Hey, everybody! Look, we got Captain Clarity over here.
I said dismissed.
Captain Clarity.
Fine with me. Knowing things means more work.
Well, I, for one, knew
Yeah.
it was a party the whole time.
You got a good speech, Brad.
I challenge you all to a duel. Pick your weapons. I pick the mine.
Get out of here, Q! No, we are done with random stuff today. We're not dealing with any of your Q bullshit.
John Delancey is Q, baby. Oh, I love that guy. All right, my friends. Well, that is awesome. Only one thing left to do, and that is to talk about it. All right, my friends, just got finished watching Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 8, Veritas, and I am very happy with myself that I called a trial episode, and in fact, it was a trial episode, and this is Lower Decks, so of course it wasn't a trial episode. I thought it was very funny. We got to see the entire team in action, or at least in the same locale. Now, of course, their flashbacks had them in different elements of the story, but this very like Tarantino-esque way of telling this tale was interesting. I think the most interesting part was making sure that Rutherford told like the meat part of it while having himself black out with the updates. That was a great little touch. We didn't get too much information. We didn't get to hear from Billups and Shax during the infiltration that it was all part for a party or to rescue somebody, or not part of a party, but to rescue was his name Clar, rescue Clar from the Romulan prison or box or whatever he was in. So again, we were kept in the dark about the whole thing. We didn't know that Clar was a good guy and that he was, so that was very interesting way of doing it. Honestly, though, for an episode entitled The Truth or Truth with Veritas, while we did get a lot from the Lower Decks crew, there was no truth to be given from anybody else, no matter how you look at it, whether it be Clar and his society, not really, coming across completely different, but more so the senior bridge staff, not like shouting out, hey, this is a party, or everybody don't worry, we're fine, or, oh, we didn't want to, like Ransom said, we didn't want to mess with the customs of the planet. It was a device so the writers could tell this interesting little non-trial episode, and then, subvert our expectations at the end by switching everything up, because that's the writers, that's their move. Again, we didn't get to see any type of serialized development. So it wasn't like we're building towards something or referring back to something. Despite this being a flashback heavy episode, we didn't see any flashbacks to things that we have seen. We've seen flashbacks to events that have occurred in the past, but they're brand new to us too. Even the flashbacks have original information inside them. But I think that if we were going to focus on who showed us the most during the trial, and that's probably where we got to see, the relationship of each of the Lower Decks crew. I don't want to say that their loyalty to Starfleet, but definitely that came into play. And you got to see their attitudes towards Starfleet. So whether it was loyalty and attitudes kind of combined, I thought it was interesting that they picked Mariner first, and Mariner went out there and was able to, give her little bit of what she thought, her part of the story and everything. But I think that if you go through each person, the ones that we received the most, we didn't get any more advancement in that Rutherford. We talked about it in some prior reactions where Rutherford started to have sort of like aggressive types of thoughts and things that went through. We have seen, though, for Rutherford, and this is a little concerning for me, is that where we had this highly, highly competent Rutherford in the beginning of the season who was nailing everything, every single task he was given, going above and beyond with calibrations and, being in the Jeffries tube at all time and like doing these things. We've seen his work start to slip a little bit. And again, I don't know if this is just a happenstance or the writers really are trying to show us this. For instance, we have several kind of notable things that Rutherford has done incorrectly. I think the two biggest, the one from this episode was he decided to tinker with the red alert volume so it wasn't so loud inside the cargo bay, but he did it incorrectly and turned it off. That's not Rutherford. Rutherford shouldn't make that mistake. Then we saw in Much Ado About Boimler, Rutherford goofed up the transporter and kept Boimler in phase. And then the other one that I'm thinking about the most was when Rutherford made Badgie. And Badgie wasn't ready, and Badgie went batshit crazy. Those are three like almost sequential goof ups we've seen Rutherford do, and we never saw that hint. Again, I made the comment earlier on in this season where, I originally thought that the Lower Decks crew were going to be a bunch of like bumbling, nincompoops, that they were going to always kind of fail upwards. You know what I mean? Like they would not really know what was going on, and oh my gosh, and somehow kind of come out smelling like roses at the end. But that wasn't the case. You had highly competent, all of them, Tendi, Rutherford, Beckett, and Boimler were all very competent in their jobs, or the team, whoever was in play, was competent enough to get through the tasks and to do it well. Now we're starting to see at least Rutherford slip. Everybody else seems to be the same as far as their, tasks and abilities and getting stuff done. Rutherford seems to be struggling. And so let's keep a pin in that, because that was, again, kind of a continuation of a recent theme. Now with Tendi, we got to see a little bit more of Tendi, again, wanting that everyone to like her. Oh, they want me to be a part of this, and not thinking during the, like I should be telling them right now that I'm not a cleaner. I am cleaning the conference room. Again, that was a cool little device to get Tendi as part of all of this. But I think the takeaway is, can Tendi really kick ass like that? I mean, those were Romulans. And again, I know this more from the Star Trek Adventures RPG by Modiphius, just looking at stat blocks and things like that for various species, now I don't know about Orion. So again, they might be, have greater strength than human standard or greater speed and things like that. I know Romulans do. Romulans are by far the superior physical specimen over humans. I mean, we see several examples in, again, I think the most recent one would have been the J.J. Abrams, the Star Trek reboot. We got to see some, like, whenever people were going against the Kirk and, the Chris Pine Kirk and that crew were going into like physical, like hand-to-hand fights with Romulans. I mean, they got their asses kicked. Because they were just incredibly strong, like one arm lifting them up. And, so obviously if Tendi were to take these, guards out, I mean, she really had to be, at least incredibly good at martial arts or have some type of augmentations herself as far as the Orions being superior to humans. I don't know that. So, but regardless, she was able to do that. And that is something we've never seen from Tendi before, which was very, very cool, which also makes me think Rutherford probably shouldn't have broken away to stop Badgie in Terminal Provocations, when in fact Tendi might have been the better fighter to take out Badgie. Anyway, we didn't learn much about Mariner other than it doesn't matter what the authority is, whether it be the actual command crew, Starfleet, or presumably an alien trial. She doesn't give a shit. She's going to treat you the same way. Will she try to be okay with certain stuff? Yeah. Her line of the entire episode was, and I don't even know who the character was that Boimler had prompted as like the galaxy's biggest badass, but she defaulted to Khan, which I know Khan, and Khan is crazy. When she looked at him and Drogo or Doga or whatever the guy's name was, and she goes, "Get the fuck out of my face." I mean, that is the most relatable statement I think that she's made yet. Great stuff, as always, from Tawny Newsome and Mariner. Amazing stuff. But again, I think the shining moment, if I was going to give a gold star to any of the characters for this episode, it's Brad. Brad kind of acting as anchor, the anchor runner for the relay race that was the Witnesses of Lower Decks, and coming forward at the end and being able to stand up and say, we don't know everything, but and they don't either, to the command crew, but and whatever you think about us or blah blah blah, standing up for both his friends and for the Cerritos. It was good. It was a shining moment for Brad, even though it was misdirected because this was like some bizarre, it reminded me of Superman, the original Superman, where the three criminals were put into the Phantom Zone. It was just, a huge misunderstanding, so to speak, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Brad had a moment to stand up, and he did it, and he did it well. And we have to note that, because everything that Brad knew was this was life or death. And this was an absolute chance. He had to save his friends. He had to step forward, and he rose to the occasion despite the fears that he had before, despite, the severity or the terminal nature of the environment and the surroundings and the potential trial that they were on. So, Brad, you get accolades for this one, buddy. You were able to really kind of shine here for your friends and for the person that I think that Brad's ultimately going to become, a very competent Starfleet officer that uses the lessons that he learned from Beckett Mariner. And was it Devon Attendee? Devon Attendee and Samanthon Rutherford. I didn't even know Devon Attendee and Samathon, whatever, Rutherford. Great stuff. And so I think that if anything, this episode, Veritas, gave us the ability to see the actual crew of the Lower Decks come together. They were put into a shared moment of tension and a shared moment of danger. They rose to the occasion. They were able to show everyone that, even with their absence of knowing what the rules were, they weren't going to betray Starfleet. And Tendi going so far as to censor her own story, redact her own story, was hilarious. But again, it shows that they're willing to stand up for one another. They're willing to go to bat for both themselves, their crew, the crew of Lower Decks, and the crew of the Cerritos as a whole, Starfleet. They're really showing that growth. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have done it at the beginning, but, again, Tendi just came on to the Cerritos at the beginning of the season. So that core group of four now, I think we're finally starting to see, not that there was any hints that there was a fracture in it or anything like that, but with this episode of them all being together, kind of coming back together after the majority of episodes doing their own thing, this shows us what the characters truly are and their strengths together as a team. And I like it very much. Yeah, I don't think it advanced anybody's singular story too much, other than to, again, give us the misdirection that seems to be prevalent here on Lower Decks. But very strong episode, very funny episode. Very interesting way to tell the story. Brand new, with the flashbacks and the Rutherford blackouts and, the Tendi redacting. It was great. They did just enough with each of the stories not to reveal anything to us about it being the party. Like I said before, it came across as a trial. And, with each person not knowing the full scope of what was going on, nobody could come to the conclusion early that, wait a minute, is this a trial? So that was, a great way. And again, you can see the work and the fingerprints of the writers throughout this whole thing to make sure that they are giving a very compelling episode that, again, contains the humor and now tension as to how they're going to get out of it and everything. And again, while their resolutions might be a little tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, we just wanted to respect the customs, they work. They work enough for this show very much that they're able to kind of maintain that disbelief throughout the course of the episode. And even though it's kind of like a MacGuffin-y thing to, give it the end for a reveal to make sure that, oh, by the way, it was always just a party. That's fine with me, because we got some really good meaty moments with each of the characters. I'll be interested to see where they go. We've got 2 episodes left in season 1, and I've never experienced a season finale from Lower Decks. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see if they give us a cliffhanger. If there's, again, callbacks to earlier in the season, things that we've seen, events that we've experienced in earlier episodes? Do they bring in that sort of serialized season-long story like we've seen in Strange New Worlds and Discovery? Do we see that here? Is it represented here? Do we get tastes or hints of it? This episode did not give us any hints of prior things, unless you want to count Rutherford's kind of continued mistakes, chain of mistakes. But that's not enough for me to say, each of those could be standalone. So it's not necessarily part of a grander story. It's still episodic, but we need to take a look at it. And I'm very curious to see how they wrap up this season. For one, and I don't know the answer to this, did they know before the generation of creation of season 1 and the end of season 1, since this is animation, so it requires a lead time here, did they know they were having a second season? Were they hired to do 2 seasons off the bat? So they knew they had a season 1, a definitive ending that they could cliffhang, or did they have to try to wrap it up for season 1 because they didn't know they were going to get a season 2? I'm very curious to see this because it speaks both towards the freedom of the production, the freedom of the storytellers, and also what we can expect going forward. If they did know and they leave us with a cliffhanger, we can expect that at least a cliffhanger's on the table for between season 2 and season 3. At least I can, I don't like to see how, look forward or jump ahead to how things end. But at the same time, I'm curious because these writers are so damn good and they drop and sprinkle in little bits of backstory and hints throughout the course of the season. Is that for anything other than character development, or do you have a story associated that you're going to pull from some of those things? Can't wait. Can't wait. So, my friends, if you could push that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications for any time we go live here on YouTube with any Star Trek or sci-fi related material. And of course, if you'd like a longer format, Patreon, link down in the description. We have full-length watch-alongs and reactions down there. We have a growing library and a growing community, and I hope to be at least an episode, normally 2 episodes, ahead for Lower Decks and most other things there, to get them out early to the patrons as a thank you for, the support and all of that. But my friends, that is then, and this is now, and now it is time for us to say goodbye. But before we go, I would like you to do one thing for me. 2 things, actually. Be kind, Vulcan roll, and my friends, until the next time we board the Cerritos, have a great one.